The global automotive industry was thrown into disarray in early 2025. President Trump, in a move labeled protectionist by critics, slapped a hefty 25% tariff on all foreign-made cars and parts. This decision, announced on April 2nd, sent shockwaves through boardrooms from Detroit to Stuttgart. Initially, Tesla, with its US production base, seemed immune. Its share price even jumped nearly 6% on the news. Investors saw a potential advantage for the American electric car manufacturer. However, this optimism proved to be short-lived. The tariffs were not just a blip on the radar, they were designed to be permanent, a stark departure from the temporary levies imposed by previous administrations. This meant a fundamental shift in the playing field. Automakers accustomed to decades of globalized supply chains and relatively free trade were now staring at a future of significantly higher costs. While Tesla, with its focus on American manufacturing, seemed better positioned than its European counterparts, the tariffs still had teeth. The company relied on imported parts and raw materials like steel and aluminum. These inputs, now subject to the 25% levy, threatened to eat into Tesla's profit margins. The initial euphoria surrounding Tesla's perceived advantage quickly evaporated. The European Union, a powerful trading bloc with a long history of clashing with the Trump administration, wasted no time in responding. The EU's swift action was a clear signal that it would not back down in the face of American trade policies. Led by the ever-resolute Ursula von der Leyen, the EU announced its own set of tariffs on US goods. Von der Leyen, known for her firm stance on trade issues, emphasized the need for a balanced and fair trading relationship between the two economic giants. This tit-for-tat response, designed to inflict economic pain on American businesses, would have significant ramifications for the auto industry, including Tesla. The electric car manufacturer, which had been expanding its footprint in Europe, now faced a daunting challenge. The EU's retaliatory tariffs targeted a range of American products, from agricultural goods to manufactured products. This broad approach was intended to maximize the economic impact on the US, hitting key industries and regions. Crucially for Tesla, the EU's list included electric vehicles. This was a strategic move, as the electric vehicle market was one of the fastest-growing sectors in Europe, and Tesla was a major player. This meant that Tesla's cars, assembled in the US and exported to Europe, would now be hit with additional import duties. These tariffs would make Tesla's vehicles more expensive for European consumers, potentially reducing demand. European consumers, already grappling with the rising cost of living, were now faced with even higher prices for Tesla's vehicles. This added financial burden could deter potential buyers, further impacting Tesla's sales in the region. The impact on Tesla was swift and brutal. The company, which had been riding high on its success in the European market, suddenly found itself in a precarious position. The company's share price, which had already begun to retreat from its post-tariff peak, went into freefall. Investors, seeing the potential for significant losses, reacted quickly. Investors, spooked by the escalating trade war and the potential impact on Tesla's European sales, dumped the stock. The uncertainty surrounding the trade situation made Tesla a risky investment. By the end of trading on the day the EU announced its tariffs, Tesla's share price had plummeted a staggering 53.2%. This dramatic drop reflected the market's lack of confidence in Tesla's ability to navigate the new trade landscape. The trade war, once a distant threat, had become a painful reality for Tesla. The company's ambitious plans for growth in Europe were now in jeopardy. The company found itself caught in the crossfire, its once bright future in Europe now clouded by uncertainty and escalating costs. As the trade tensions continued to rise, Tesla's path forward remained uncertain, with the potential for further economic fallout looming large. 2025 proved to be a year of unprecedented volatility for Tesla's share price. The company, once a darling of Wall Street with its meteoric rise, experienced the dizzying heights of investor euphoria and the gut-wrenching lows of market panic, often within the span of a single trading day. The stock's performance became a Rorschach test for investor sentiment, reflecting the ever-changing narrative surrounding Tesla's future. The year began with Tesla's stock riding high, buoyed by optimism about the company's long-term growth prospects. However, the optimism proved fragile. As the year progressed, a series of events, both internal and external, conspired to shake investor confidence. Trump's tariffs, the EU's retaliation, and growing concerns about Tesla's profitability all contributed to the stock's wild swings. On 14 separate occasions throughout the year, Tesla's stock experienced gains or losses of at least 5%. These dramatic swings, once rare occurrences, became almost commonplace for Tesla investors. By the end of the year, Tesla's stock had shed a significant portion of its value, down a sobering 36% since President Trump's second term began in January. The roller coaster ride reflected the deep uncertainty surrounding Tesla's future. The company's ambitious plans, once seen as a testament to Elon Musk's visionary leadership, were now being scrutinized through a lens of skepticism. The impact of the transatlantic trade war was felt most acutely in Tesla's European sales figures. The once thriving market for Tesla vehicles in Europe began to show signs of strain as the trade tensions escalated. Despite a surge in demand for electric vehicles across the continent, Tesla found itself struggling to maintain its market share. European consumers, who were once enthusiastic about Tesla's innovative technology, started exploring other options. The company's once dominant position in the European EV market was being challenged by a combination of factors, including the tariffs, increased competition, and a growing backlash against Elon Musk's increasingly controversial public persona. Musk's tweets and public statements often sparked debates and controversies, which did not sit well with the European audience. February 2025 proved to be a particularly brutal month for Tesla in Europe. The company faced numerous challenges, from logistical issues to regulatory hurdles, which compounded their difficulties. The company reported a year-over-year drop of 40% in vehicle registrations, a stark contrast to the overall growth of the European electric vehicle market, which saw a 26% increase in sales during the same period. This decline was a wake-up call for Tesla, highlighting the urgent need to reassess their strategy in Europe. The figures painted a bleak picture for Tesla's European ambitions. The once bustling Tesla showrooms were now seeing fewer visitors, and the brand's allure seemed to be fading. The reasons for Tesla's European slump were multifaceted. Beyond the tariffs and competition, there were also issues related to customer service and after-sales support, which European consumers found lacking compared to local brands. The EU's retaliatory tariffs, imposed on Tesla's US-made vehicles, had made the company's cars significantly more expensive for European consumers. This price hike made Tesla less competitive in a market where price sensitivity was growing. This price increase came at a time when European buyers were being wooed by a growing number of compelling EV offerings from established European automakers. Brands like Volkswagen, BMW, and Renault were launching new models with advanced features and competitive pricing. Tesla's once unassailable lead in battery technology and software was being eroded. European automakers were investing heavily in research and development, closing the gap in areas where Tesla once had a clear advantage. European rivals, leveraging their decades of experience in automotive engineering and manufacturing, were rapidly catching up. They were not only matching Tesla's technological prowess but also offering better build quality and reliability. The combination of increased competition, higher prices, and a tarnished brand image created a perfect storm for Tesla in Europe. The company now faces the daunting task of rebuilding its reputation and regaining the trust of European consumers. Elon Musk, the enigmatic CEO of Tesla, had always been a polarizing figure. His larger-than-life persona and relentless drive to push the boundaries of technology made him a household name. Yet, his public statements and actions often sparked intense debate. His outspoken nature, unconventional ideas, and penchant for courting controversy had earned him both ardent admirers and fierce critics. Musk's ability to captivate the public's imagination was unparalleled, but it came with a cost. However, in 2025, Musk's close relationship with the Trump administration and his increasingly vocal support for controversial political actions began to have a noticeable impact on Tesla's brand image. This alignment with divisive policies created a rift among Tesla's diverse customer base. Musk's involvement in initiatives such as slashing federal spending and promoting privatization efforts alienated a significant portion of Tesla's customer base. These actions were seen as contradictory to the values that many Tesla supporters held dear. The company, once seen as a champion for sustainability and progressive values, was now being associated with policies that many perceived as harmful to the environment and detrimental to social welfare. This shift in perception was stark and swift. The backlash against Musk's political stances manifested in various ways. Public sentiment turned sour, and the once loyal customer base began to question their support for the brand. Social media platforms were flooded with calls to boycott Tesla, Hashtags like #boycott_Tesla and #Muskout trended for weeks, amplifying the discontent and spreading it far and wide. Protests erupted outside Tesla dealerships and factories, with demonstrators accusing the company of hypocrisy and complicity in the Trump administration's agenda. The protests were not just limited to the United States, but spread globally. In some extreme cases, Tesla vehicles were even targeted for vandalism, spray-painted with slogans denouncing Musk's political views. These acts of vandalism were a stark indicator of the deep-seated anger and frustration among the public. The damage to Tesla's brand was undeniable. The company's reputation, meticulously built over years of innovation and environmental advocacy, was now under siege. The company, once synonymous with innovation, environmental consciousness, and a certain cool factor, was now grappling with a public image tarnished by its CEO's political entanglements. The fallout was not just a PR issue but had tangible effects on sales and customer loyalty. This negative perception would prove to be a significant hurdle for Tesla as it navigated an increasingly competitive and politically charged market. The road ahead was fraught with challenges, and the company had to find a way to reconcile its innovative spirit with the evolving expectations of its customer base.